Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. Welcome back to the T0 to T6 Abyss series. We're here working our way to the next level of this, the T5 Abyss. We're unfortunately at a very low ISK balance due to us spending a lot of ISK on our filaments. We're facing up against a few Leshaks right here. These guys do a ton of DPS, so I'm trying to get here around them to get a good angle to be able to avoid the damage. Luckily there it's going pretty well. The previous times, as far as I can remember, we did the T4 Abyss. It was hairy at some times. We did have some close calls, but I think that I just need to practice a bit more. I think that practice will solve all these kinds of hiccups we had before. We had troubles with the sanctuaries before. That was the main issue. And I think it has a lot to do with the way in electrical abyss sites right here that increase their damage potential. Let's see if we get anything decent from here. Okay, not that great. 2.7 million. I don't want their damage to ramp up right here because it can get very serious with the Leshaks if they ramp up their damage to big levels. Let's go around here. Oh, they've moved around. They've gone into the speed cloud. The tachyon cloud of death. I don't worry too much about the tachyon cloud when I'm using a cruiser, but in a frigate, it can be a death sentence. You can really just get flung out of the arena. It is not a nice situation, but the main concern I have with tachyon cloud, I'm using a cruiser, is that the enemies can be flung at us, and that can put us in a very sticky situation, especially if we have high damage close range enemies on the grid. Okay, we'll take out this. We'll take out this Leshak here with the Conflag. Get it up and going. But this is actually the first time I played EVE Online in a couple of weeks now. It feels good to be back. It feels also a bit strange because when I went in high school, I took a big break from playing EVE Online. I actually did play EVE Online back then. That was many years ago. And I put away my computer and I decided, okay, I'm going to be studying for my exams now. So I put that computer away. And when I got back to it and I started using my mouse again, I felt almost like disabled. I could not use my mouse properly. It was just I felt like, how do I even properly click now? Because I had been only studying on a laptop with a trackpad, so I felt very unused to it. I feel a little bit like that right now, not to the same degree. Let's see now. Grab this. Okay, good. We're making some decent time over here. Let's get to the transfer conduit. Oh no, we're really far away. This is a big mistake. But luckily, we've got that speed cloud here that will jump us straight into it. Maybe we could go to that extraction node over there? We could. I think we could. It depends on how the boundaries of this tachyon cloud are made, because they could sometimes be really unpredictable. I can sometimes see that we've got like a whole cloud of a tachyon cloud over here, but then suddenly we're not in it, and it can sometimes be that we're in a completely clear area, and then sometimes suddenly we're in it. They're a bit unpredictable, so we're just going to make our way towards the extraction node over here. Okay, pretty slow right here, 600 meters a second. I have actually trained quite a few skills over these last this couple of weeks. You can see here, Afterburner, advanced weapon upgrades. Accounting. This is actually a pretty good skill right here, because this will make so that when we get our loot, when we want to sell it, we're going to reduce those damn taxes that we get taxed on when we're selling our loot. So this will increase our profits slightly, even though it doesn't increase our site completion time at all. Okay, so now we've got this tachyon cloud. Now 2 kilometers a second. That's good. Okay, we're still under the 5-minute average, which I usually have as a benchmark of completing these sites, so that's good. Let's get this extraction node. These guys, if you grab these, it can make the T4 Abyss really worth it, but if you don't grab them, it's really hit or miss. Sometimes you can get some decent stuff from those bio-adaptive caches we grabbed. Yeah, 5 million, that was really good, actually. Really good for an extraction node. I'm happy if I get like 1 or 2 million from these, but 5 million was pretty good. The filament to enter these sites costs 7 million. So we've already earned back that, the cost of entering this site. So now everything we get now is just going to be pure profit. Let's see, what fit did we decide upon to get the T5? We got T5 here. I don't think I've got it saved. But it was at least 1 billion or so needed to get to the T5 fit. So there is a long journey there. But we should not discount the rare drops, because those rare drops really change everything. You can get sometimes a rare drop, a skill book, 200 million just like that. Okay, Oh, got extra Charybdis. Okay, Mr. Charybdis, Mrs. Charybdis actually, but I like to say Mr. Let's go here to the side. Got entanglers. Let's go for entanglers. They will entangle us in place. We do not want that to happen with big Charybdis on the grid. Land some big wrecking shots. We'll not have a good time. We can reset reactive armor hardener actually, just to get a bit more even resists to match Charybdis's damage profile. Let's go here. Okay, these guys are getting close now. We'll deploy drones to get increased damage. Switch over to Conflag. These guys are getting close to us. Let's go. Okay, we're taking some slight hits over here. Let's see. Now we can make our way to that extraction node. I think we'll be able to do that unscathed. Let's see if that will go smoothly. And I think if we go to the extraction node, we can then do a little bit of an arc and go to the bi-adapter over there and grab that. Oh, I should start shooting. It's important to shoot when you're in the abyss. If you don't shoot, you're not going to get anywhere. I could rely on my drones if I was a drone-based ship, but I'm not. I'm a Zealot who's relying on pulse lasers to pulse away at these enemies. Okay, this still is there. Really nice to have. If you have the Charybdis, you can have Ephialtes guys like these, but you can also then have majority being these Scylla cruisers attached to them. It's better to have the Scyllas because they have a lot less HP. The downside is that they do a bit more damage. I prefer personally. Oh, now we're taking a bit of damage right there. I personally prefer. Oh, we lost a drone. I personally prefer the Scyllas. Okay, should not be. I'm getting a bit rusty. Oh, we lost another one. No, actually we didn't. We just draw it into our drone bay. Okay, let's go to this bi-adaptive cache over here. I'm always a bit nervous when I'm doing the Charybdis because if you stay still, we're moving all the time, so there's no problem. But if we stay still, or if we get in a bad angle, he can hit a big shot, and like it can sometimes be fatal. It is one of the 6 million. Okay, it's all right. It's all right. Charybdis is one of the waves I've lost actually most of my Gilas in the abyss. Not the Zealots. I've never lost. I have lost Zealots in tests to Santa Cruz's, not Charybdis though. It has come close though. Okay, so this is a bad situation I'm in now, where Charybdis is 50 kilometers away. It has to take a bunch of time for me to get close. Let's grab Scorch. We can start doing damage from far away. Go towards the side right here. Let's go. We're almost there into Scorch range. We've got some decent skills trained, so we've got almost 40 kilometer range, which we can like do some tiny tickle damage, but it's not going to be anything crazy. These seem to really want to keep their range, these guys. Okay, now we're getting closer. Okay, great. Now, okay, there we go. Those wrecking shots we want to avoid. 1k damage. See, half our armor disappeared just like that. Luckily, we've got a great armor repair that can just repair like almost a quarter of armor in one cycle. Charybdis. One of the banes of Cruiser Abyss. But if you are good with your piloting, if you approach him at an angle, you're not going to have that bad of a time. The worst you can do is just approach like we're doing right now at long range. Since we're pretty close, it's alright because Charybdis has a hard time hitting you, even if you're approaching directly at close range. The thing you have to think about, his turrets, they need to turn. So if we're far away moving, they're going to have a hard time turning to be able to hit us. Okay, I should conflag. Let's go. Now I'll do full damage. Keep at range, and I'm going to do the trick where I push Charybdis towards the transfer conduit over there. See, he always wants to keep range. So I just push him towards the transfer conduit so we don't have to waste time getting there. We've only got 20 minutes in the abyss. We're up past the 5-minute average mark per site, but it should be all right. We just got one more room after this. It was no problem. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go towards the transfer conduit because then I can just still do damage with Scorch at long range. A bit bummed that I lost a drone, but luckily we're using the Acolyte IIs. They're pretty cheap. It's no real issue that we lost a drone. It's just a bit annoying because I have a tendency to do things in a routine fashion. So if I happen to, I just decide to undock and go into new site, it can occasionally occur that I forget to restock it. it's not a good time because you don't want to lose these. You don't want to run in with few drones. You can if you lose too many of these, you're just gonna not be able to use the drones properly, and then you're gonna have the whole site going slower because you're doing less damage. Okay, got all drones recalled. Let's go to the next room. Okay, so we've got Ephialtes Wave right here, super easy. Extraction node over there. I'm going to skip it because it's just too far away. It's going to be a waste of time. I do want to go for these confusers though, because they're going to make application a nightmare. Let's go here, Webifier, web. There we go. And then Conflag. These guys melt. They've changed the icons here. This is an update since the last time I played. They did not look like this. Here's where there's a good opportunity to use drones. Because the thing is, you don't want to use drones at long range. Then they're just going to, if they start getting attacked, it's going to be a very low likelihood of them returning safely. If they've got so far to travel. But since these guys are orbiting close to like 10 kilometers, then as soon as they start taking damage, you just recall them, no problem. Keep it range, 10 kilometers, or maybe even 5 actually. 5 would be better. Because our optimal is 9, so probably better to be within that range. Range 5. I think a strategy could be, I'm thinking of ways we could improve upon our current fit right here. But we're using 2 damage modules. If we improve upon our fit and skills, I mean our skills are almost maxed actually. We've got pretty damn good skills for the Zealot, but eventually we could find a T4 capable fit that's able to use 3 damage modules to just make this site go quicker. But then eventually when we get expensive enough modules, we'll be able to just jump to T5 and it'll be a lot, that's where we're going to get one step closer to getting to our goal of T6. It's a long route, One day we'll get there. We started this journey, how long was it? I think it was in February. So that'll put like a half a year now. This journey has been going on for a long time. And it's not an easy feat to get to the T6 Abyss, because that is just something that is really endgame content. You earn so much from it that you can earn a EVE subscription from it pretty with like relative ease. So it is a pretty big thing to be able to do the T6 Abyss reliably. And I mean reliably, I mean reliable enough that you get profit. Like I don't mean that, oh, you complete the site 75% of the time and then 25% you die. Just dying 25% of the time can really make, with an expensive ship, will not make you turn out with a profit. So I mean like a success rate of like 99% is what you need, or 95, no, maybe 98, something like that. Ideally 100%. That's at least the case for me. I've never died in T6 on Tranquility in a cruiser. So I'm currently at 100%. And we were talking about doing this for maybe, I'd say, when was the first time I did a T6 Abyss? I think it was 2 years ago. It was almost straight away when they came out, a few months after they came out, because initially when the T6 sites came out, I was a bit too much of a coward for doing them. But then I just decided, okay, I'm going to try it with T6 Exotic and Nagila. And it actually went really well. Then eventually I moved up to T6 Gammas, so much better. Get a lot more ISK from the T6 Gammas for some reason. Okay, let's get for this Lucid Aegis. Pop him real quick right there. Then go for this last Lucid Escort. And there we go. Okay, site completed. Great. Open up this cache. 5 million, so a decent amount. I mean, it's not that much, but it is alright. 18 is still pretty decent. Can be better, but it can also be a lot worse. A lot worse. Okay, so that's it for this episode of the T0 to T6 Abyss series. We're back from a little bit of a break, going smoothly. I wasn't as rusty as I thought, but I mean, we also did have pretty easy waves as well. Charybdis can be a bit difficult at times, but it's still no rocket science. The more difficult ones, like the Sancho ones, those are the worst. Loot was decent. We also trained quite a few skills, so I'm quite curious. I'm going to have to do more planning, more thinking of what kind of routes we're going to have to take to the T5, because I did have a fit saved, but it doesn't seem to be saved right here. But it was a pretty decent fit, and it involved accumulating, I think, like 1.2 billion, something like that, to be able to get to that next step. So it's a long way. It's a long way, but sooner or later we're going to get there, and I think it'll be really satisfying to get there, because when we got to this T4 level, it was so satisfying. So I really look forward to the next level. So that's enough for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.